Hi everyone, in this lesson we're going to look at how we round numbers to decimal places. First example we're going to look at is where we need to round to one decimal place. It's just worth quickly defining what we mean by a decimal place. So for example, in the number 15.603, that is the first decimal place, that is the second decimal place, and so on. That would be, of course, the third decimal place. And if it tells us to round a number to one decimal place, what that means is we want to have one decimal place in our answer. At the minute, of course, we have two. So let's take our 1.56. And in order to round it to one decimal place, I'm going to draw a line after my first decimal place, after my 5. Then I use this digit to help me decide whether I need to round the 5 up to a 6 or keep it as it is at 5. If our deciding digit, so in this case the 6, is 5 or more, then I round up. In this case, it's 6, so I'm going to round up. I'm going to take this 5 and round it up to a 6. So what I can say is that this is approximately equal to 1.6. I've taken this 5 and I've brought it up 1 to 6. It's good to put in brackets what we did. Well, we rounded it to one decimal place. Let me just show you the nice tidy answer. 1.56 is approximately equal to, so it's not equal to 1.6, but it's approximately equal to 1.6 when we round to one decimal place. And as you notice, I've got one decimal place my answer, so that's right. Pause video, give this one a go, and then we'll have a look at it together. Round 0.32 to one decimal place. Let's write out our 0.32. The 3 is my first decimal place, so I need to make my decision on the digit to the right. I just draw this line to help me see. So this is the digit I make my decision based on. Remember I said if it's 5 or more, then the 3 will go up. If it's not, then we stay. And it's a 2, so that means we stay. Sometimes you might hear it referred to as rounding down, and that's okay, but what I mean by stay is that this digit 3 stays as 3. We don't round it down. It doesn't go down to 2, so to speak. It just stays as 3. Anyway, so 0.32 is approximately equal to 0.3 to one decimal place. Just to give you a bit of an idea of why we're doing this, if we imagine on one end of our scale we have 0.3, and on the other end of our scale we have 0.4, we want to know which one do I go to, because if you notice both of these have one decimal place, 0.3 and 0.4. My 0.32 might be somewhere around here. And as you can see, it's obviously closer to the 0.3 than it is to the 0.4. That's why it goes to 0.3. If it was at 0.35, so 0.35, then what we do is we actually round it up to the 0.4. So we can also round to two decimal places. So in this example, that's what we're going to do. Round 34.293 to two decimal places. Let's write out our 34.293 with good spaces between them. And to round it to two decimal places, that means I'm going to have two decimal places in my answer. The digit 2 is my first decimal place. The digit 9 is my second decimal place. Let's draw our line that helps us decide after the second decimal place. This is the digit that decides it for us. Because it's less than 5, we're going to say we're going to stay. Now what stays? Well, both of these stay. We can say that 34.293 is approximately equal to 34.29 if we round to two decimal places. Pause video and give this one a go. Let's write out our decimal, so 0.055. That's my first decimal place, that's my second. I'm going to draw my line. Because it's a 5, that tells us we need to go up. And what goes up? Well, just this digit 5. It just goes up. The 0 does not go up. So it goes up to a 6. So 0.06 to two decimal places. The next example we're going to look at is one where we have to do a little bit of exchanging. And we'll see why that's true in a second. Round 0.197 to two decimal places. So I'll write out my 0.197. Two decimal places, so I'll go to my second decimal place. The digit 1 is my first decimal place. The digit 9 is my second decimal place. Draw that deciding line and make my decision based on this 7. Remember, if it's 5 or more, I round up. So I'm going to round up. I'm going to round up this 9 to a 10. Now, here's where we have this problem. If I round the digit 9 up to a digit 10, I can't have the number 10 in this column. So that's why I actually exchange, and I need to bring those 10 hundredths to 1/10. So this is going to be approximately equal to 0.2. Because I'm rounding to 2 decimal places, that means I need 2 decimal places in my answer. So I need to put in a 0 so that I meet that criteria. So I can say that 0.197 is approximately equal to 0.20 when I round to 2 decimal places. Pause the video, give this one a go. So round 0.95 to 1 decimal place. So write down your 0.95. 1 decimal place, so I'm only expecting 1 decimal place my answer. The digit 9 is where my first decimal place is. I'll draw my line. It's a 5, that tells me I need to go up. So this digit 9 would go up to the number 10. Now I can't have that 10 there, so I need to exchange for 1 unit. So my answer is going to be 1.0. The 0.0 is important because we do need it to be to 1 decimal place. And if I just put 1, then there's no decimal places. So it needs to be 1.0. So our last example is one where we have to do some harder exchanging. We've been asked to round 2.3995 to 3 decimal places. So let me write it out. And we want to round it to 3 decimal places. So that's my first decimal place, second, and my third. I'm going to draw my line after my third. This digit 5 tells me I need to go up. Now, this 9 will go up to a 10, which means I need to exchange for 1 more here. But if I have 1 more here in this column, I've also got another 10, which I need to exchange for 1 more in my tenths column. So what I've actually got is 2.4, and I need to add in 2 more zeros so that it's to 3 decimal places. So 2.3995 to 3 decimal places is 2.400. And I'll put in 3 decimal places in the bracket. Pause the video and give this one a go. Okay, round 9.996 to 2 decimal places. So draw your line after the second decimal place. Make your decision based on this digit to go up. The 9 would go up to a 10, which means we need to exchange for 1 more in this column. But 9 and 1 gives me 10 again, which means I need to exchange for 1 more in this column, which means I have 10 units. Technically, yes, I'd then need to exchange for 1 in the tens column, like this as well. So 9.996 is approximately equal to 10.00 to 2 decimal places. If you're using our lesson booklets, you can now complete exercises 1 to 5.